All right. What's up, guys? How's it going? I am Alex from Zaxwerks. I'm here to show you how ProAnimator and Rampant can play together super well. We are best friends when it comes to digital design world. And first I'm going to show you about first 10 minutes or so how to make a quick little sports project, and then how to enhance that sports project with a couple of Rampant design elements. So let's go ahead. Right here I have my project. Let me just preview this back for you. I have a bunch of objects swarming around. We got 2 team photos. We've got names for both teams. We got our ducks and our badgers, something you might see on TV. And then you got a little, the verse is going to come by and sweep away the entire scene. Or maybe it's not. There we go. There we go. Okay. So, a couple things that went into this. So we have a little bit of modeling in ProAnimator. We have ways of doing just very simple, yet complicated to the outside non-3D person. But it's really simple. It's all you have to do is you draw just like you would in Illustrator, and then you type your text. Your text can change at any time. Your pictures can change at any time, and everything is live. And it is incredibly easy to animate any one of these things. So let me go ahead and show you how the project was set up. So let's go ahead. We'll jump into ProAnimator. Just click on it, open up, click to edit ProAnimator. So the interface is going to open up for me. Let me go ahead and find my images. Desktop. One more second. There we go. There it is. Cool. All right. So in ProAnimator, it almost seems a little daunting at first. It really isn't. Let me explain to you a couple things of how things are happening in this program. So number one, let's go ahead and turn on one of the text. So when the text flies in here, it's over in the lower right-hand corner. Let's go ahead and just zoom in on our text. And the way things are set up is that we have poses and we have transitions. So this dark blue bar is called a pose. The light blue bar is called a transition. And what they are is you set up all of your objects using poses and transitions. So you put all of your objects on one track that you want to animate together. So I have all of my letters on one track. I have, in After Effects, it would take a million freaking keyframes, or at least one keyframe or one track for every single letter. And then you have to animate each letter individually. That's not the way ProAnimator works. How we do ProAnimator is we have each letter is all on the same track, and then we say we want to start at this pose, we want to end at this pose right here, and then we want it to do something special in the middle, and that's called our transition. So we'll click on our transition. Now we can see our motion paths, and notice we have this nice little loop happening, and all this happening right here in our animation controls. So I can give it more arch or less arch. I can make the arch center bigger or smaller. Everything's super responsive. Everything's real time. It's all fast in ProAnimator 8. 8.5 actually is what we're running here now. And we can tell it to overshoot the start or overshoot the end by just giving it, we want it to go past the end and come back, or any of that kind of stuff. And so I'm going to take that away. We can play the animation back. We can see the letters just sort of swoop in, have a little rotation to them as well. Nice and easy. Everyone understands that. We know what text is, right? The coolest part about this, though, is that everything is still live. So I can go in here. I can double-click on my letters here. Just by double-clicking, opens up my text window. I can type anything I want. So I will say Rampant Ragers, because that's the new sports team they're going to come out with, obviously, in Ohio up there. We'll go ahead and click on OK. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. It's smaller than 72, fine. And we will see that we have the exact same motion paths, exact same motion set up for fewer number of letters. That's the biggest thing here. We do not have the same amount of letters. It keeps all the same beveling, same texture, all that good stuff. So this is awesome. Very cool. With that, here we go. So we have our text. Now let's go ahead, unsolo this guy, and take a look at the rest of our scene. So these guys right here were set up by using our modeling window, drawing window right here. And so when I go to my modeling workspace, I can see it's very simple. I went here, I used my Bezier curve tool, point tool, and just drew a couple shapes. I could also have done this in Illustrator, imported those Illustrator files, and then I gave it a little bit of depth. If I come over here on the side, we can zoom in. we can see we have a bevel, which is this guy right here. This is our bevel editor, and we can see the shape of our bevel, and I can actually edit it on the fly. So if I let go of this guy, we can see it actually comes out farther. Hit undo for that. And I can change anything just using my bevel editor. It's really fast, it's really easy moving my guy around, and it's a really great way to set up a cool looking scene. I can give it more depth or less depth just by all real-time scaling based on what I want with my scene. A couple other things is we have a list of bevels that come with the program that every single one is sort of a starter. All presets in ProAnimator are starters. So we will start with the bevel, and then we can edit it from there. That's what I did here. I started with one of the inset faces, and then I edited a little bit to make it look like it does now. So this is pretty much just a project breakdown, so I don't want to go too into detail. If you want more details, you can check out the tutorials online. But yeah, here, so I've got a couple objects here. I've got a little warp happening, and I've got my letters jumping into place. So it's cool. That's pretty much all I wanted to cover with ProAnimator. I want to show you that it's so easy to animate stuff in and out, change anything at any time, add cool looking textures, and go home and see your family. So let's go ahead. We'll jump back into the animation workspace. Go ahead and click OK to come back into our After Effects scene, and notice everything is in here and it's working really fast. I can scrub through here, and I am at half res, but still, with that being said, I'm rendering everything in real time, which means it's rendering in like 0.03 seconds a frame, something like that. It's like ridiculously fast. And it's really, you can see there's constant movement going on, and I got to wipe on and off screen. Cool, okay, so let's go ahead. Let's take this to the next level. So it looks cool. You might see this on TV. But what you also might see is you might see a little bit of smoke, right? People love smoke with Rampant because it's so easy to use. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take my smoke guy right here. I'm going to drop it into the background. And now we see when our animation comes along here, let me RAM preview, we'll see the smoke sort of is coming on, but you see how slow it is. It's a little too slow for how fast all my objects are moving. So it's definitely a cool idea to have back there. But it's a little too slow for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to speed it up. I'll do that by right-clicking on the track itself, on the layer, come up to time, and then enable time remapping. Let me go ahead and make my comp length longer so I can see my entire comp, my entire track. I'll zoom out here. And then I'll take this little keyframe right here and bring this guy in. And notice now, let me go ahead and change my comp back. And now when I render preview, whoops, let's, hold on, trying to zoom in, there we go. There we go. So now when I render preview back, you'll see my objects move much faster with my smoke, and it's like the smoke is almost blowing on my objects. It's really cool. And so, did I, there we go. Yep. Anyway, cool. So now with this, I want to show you why it's so great to have their kind of stuff in After Effects. And the reason why is because you can do your compositing just like you would do with any other object. So I can take my Rampant right here. I can go ahead into my effects, and I can add a curves. Let's curves, drop that on to the wrong layer. Let me just copy that, delete it. There we go. And so now I can go ahead and I can really darken this guy down, and this is going to make it look like it's actually blending into my scene a little bit better. A little more realism happening, and it's really crazy how much I use curves, just because it really helps you integrate outside footage with your 3D models. So let me go ahead, turn that on and off, and you'll see you actually start to see little holes within the smoke now. A lot more interesting and awesome. So there we go. I'll RAM preview that back, and now you're starting to get a little more animation. It's like, oh, look at that. That's cool. Everything's sort of working in place now. Good. The last thing, I'm just going to add one more thing, is I'm going to add a lens flare. I'm going to add a lens flare. It's pretty simple, and we do support lens flares inside of ProAnimator, so if you want to go that route, you can do that route. But instead, I'm going to show you a quicker way, and the quicker way is to use a pre-rendered lens flare. I'll just drag this, put it on top of my guy right here, and I will, let's see here, I will select it, go to my blending modes, turn it to screen, and then, hold on, why is my football turned off? Oh, I have to blend this guy as well. Sorry about that. Screen, done. And then I can go up here I think I'm going to scale it a little bit just by holding down. There you go, move it up. And now when we play this guy back, we can see we have a cool lens flare popping on our screen with our smoke and our words. And so right there, really quickly, of course I had the design already made before as far as the 3D goes, but just adding it and making it a professional looking, something you would actually want to show a client versus something you go, it looked like a 4th grader did it. That's what Rampant's good for. We love Rampant as an extra value to anything that you're doing. I mean, it's really cheap for what they're offering you, so that's very cool. I can bring up my final video. Let's see, I think it's this guy right here. Nope, this guy. There we go. So with my final video, you can see I did exactly the same things, and it's definitely something I would show anybody, one of my clients or any of that, so very cool. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will be here all week. Later, guys. Thank you.